I'm Andy Eubank, Hoosier Ag Today, and on a road trip to East Central Indiana on Friday, June the 6th, we discovered that rain is still a problem in that part of Indiana for farmers. We spoke with three of them to get an update.
Well, obviously this 6th day of June, we still have 125 acres of beans to plant. It's been extremely wet. We get a week of 3 days of running, and then it rains an inch and a half again. And as you see, we're standing in a bean field, and it's still quite wet. And so consequently, corn emerged sporadic, did come up. Some of it was replanted. I was talking to a seed dealer, actually an area rep the other day, and he said that probably 15% of the corn was replanted. He thought maybe 20 to 25% of the beans got replanted. Some of that was because of the early plant and cold weather, and it didn't come up. We didn't have any super early, but the early beans that we came out, it took a little longer to get out of the ground, but they came up in nice shape. But the corn is obviously now, side dress is an issue, and some of the post sprays on corn is obviously we don't need hip boots out here today, but it's too wet to get equipment across the field. Our first corn that we planted, it looks very good. It needs to be side dressed. So as far as the other corn get rained out and came back in, and the corn that we got rained out, it was just before rain, and was a little concerned about the emergence, but it wasn't bad enough that we expected to go back in and replant. So just some spots. I've heard cases that you better leave it if it's 25,000. We plant about 35,000, and so in our case, I think we're going to end up somewhere around 32, 33. So most of ours did come. It was sporadic though, as far as the emergence goes.
It's been an interesting spring, to say the least. Every year it seems like we have an interesting spring. So this year we started out a little bit late, partly because of the cool weather, and it was relatively damp when we got into the thinking of being able to get the equipment rolling across the ground. And we did get things in a relatively timely manner, maybe not as early as what we would have liked to have seen it, but we were able to get finished here locally in the time frame of May, so that was kind of a reassuring feeling. We have had quite a bit of rain that did keep us out for longer periods than maybe normally we would have, but overall crops are looking very good. There is some concern that we are hearing about insect infestation, but right now we're just keeping an eye on things and hoping that we'll have a good growing season from now till harvest time.
We're satisfied. We've already put this corn crop, we put this whole crop, beans and corn, through some pretty tough stresses already. We got a good bit planted of corn and beans. It come the cold, extremely wet weather. That went away. Then it got dry. We had some pretty nasty looking corn, and I always get upset that I think I'm the only one with poor looking corn. That our corn, the boys and my brother get on me all the time. Ronnie, everybody's got this, and all I could see is our yellow corn, our uneven corn and that. So that works on me, but yeah, Everything we have right now is planted and out of the ground. We're very fortunate. Corn and beans both. Corn's off to a pretty good start. We had to do some replanting on corn. We probably replanted in spots maybe 100 acres out of it. So the crop started. We've taken some of the top off of it, we know. Of course, we're a pre-plant anhydrous, so with the rains we had, we aren't sure where we're at on nitrogen. We don't think we'll be hurting, but that's always a concern if you're pre-plant. But here we're for the week. Yeah, for the week we're over 2 inches. We're about 2 1/4. By the time you get to Greenfield, it's 3 1/2. So they got 2 1/4 inches in a spot down there that we farm in about an hour and a half. So it was one of them big ones that done some damage. I have never seen ground wash as bad as it has this year.